It's a Saturday in a post-Jurassic World Evolution 2 announcement world, which means it's time for another weekly news update, episode 15. Yesterday's highlight stream and live gameplay by Frontier unfortunately didn't give us that much, only 3 things really, but thanks to the developer diary, it was a fantastic week. Beautiful, gorgeous, exquisite. In this video, a summary of what we've seen so you can be sure you didn't miss out on anything, and you have all the info you need either if you're still deciding on whether to pre-order or not, or if you just want a healthy dose of Jurassic World Evolution 2 content as we wait for November 9th. Subscribe to the channel for more Jurassic World Evolution 2. I do these news update videos every week, and we have fun videos in between to share the hype. Hello everyone, welcome, thank you for joining today's video. In the dev diary, Rich, James, Dan and Adam gave us information on campaign mode and chaos theory mode for Jurassic World Evolution 2. Regarding campaign mode, they say, the player's role in campaign mode is very different to the other modes that we have in the game. Instead of focusing on building theme parks and using the dinosaurs to make as much money as possible, they're now dealing with the dinosaurs that are in the wild across the United States. This involves capturing them and safely containing them in facilities that the player has built. That is very different from the first game, where it was all about pleasing Cabot Finch and building theme parks and monetizing those dinosaurs. This time around, it looks like star rating will not even be a factor at all during gameplay, as it is not shown in UI during campaign missions that we've seen so far. And even attractions like viewing galleries serve an educational purpose rather than being for entertainment. It's a way for researchers to observe the dinosaurs. In Chaos Theory mode, we are stepping into alternate timelines and taking control. The player will experience a what-if scenario from each of the Jurassic Park and Jurassic World movies. So it appears we get 5 Chaos Theory modes, presumably a 6th being added when Jurassic World Dominion comes out. The player will be in charge of building either a theme park or a facility based on that movie. The example we are shown is the Chaos Theory mode for the Lost World Jurassic Park, where we have to rebuild the San Diego park, complete with the iconic amphitheater. And let's actually talk about all the great assets that we will be getting in the game. It was unconfirmed for a long time, but we had hope, and that hope was not unfounded. Jurassic World Evolution 2 is bringing back the classic Jurassic Park buildings that we've grown especially attached to with the Return to Jurassic Park DLC for the first game. Aside from the amphitheater, we get the classic visitor center, the Ford Explorer tours, Jurassic Park-styled viewing galleries, hotels, and facility buildings like the ranger station that we recognize from Return to Jurassic Park. And we get the Jurassic Park signs returning as well. And it is hard to see, but in this image it appears we do have the Buck and Doe Rex. This overhead shot shows that an enclosure connects to the amphitheater. What the function of the amphitheater is, aside from just looking fantastic, is still unknown. Perhaps it simply functions as a viewing attraction. Do keep in mind that only on PC and next generation consoles you can use both Jurassic Park and Jurassic World buildings in your sandbox parks. If you're playing on the older generation consoles, you will have to choose either Jurassic Park or Jurassic World era when you play in Sandbox. Other game modes will be limited to one or the other given the story in which they take place. So campaign is only Jurassic World era, and Chaos Theory mode for the original trilogy is only Jurassic Park era. One of the most exciting assets we are shown is the Indominus Rex in all her textured glory. We had already seen confirmation of her through her name being dropped in the UI, but it's great to finally see her. The dev diary shows only one entirely new species that we didn't know about previously, but since it is a marine reptile, it is an exciting addition. It seems no consensus has been reached yet about what this species is, and Frontier has yet to confirm it. Most people though seem to think it is a Tylosaurus, considering the popularity of that creature and its ties to the franchise through the Jurassic Park the game. Until Frontier comes out and says what it is, I hesitate to draw any conclusions, although Tylosaurus does seem a fairly safe bet. Yesterday's livestream also seems to have revealed a new species, but we will discuss that later on in today's video. Everybody pointed out the compies in response to my video on Wednesday reacting and discussing the developer diary. While it is always fun to see the little guys, I definitely agree with that, especially with how they are bouncing along, which is absolutely adorable. We have already known about the compies for a very long time, as we caught a glimpse of it when the YouTubers did their playthrough a couple of weeks ago, and that's why I didn't point it out. Same with the Pachycephalosaurus, we'd already seen that. Same with the Tor being able to cross over the path. That was officially confirmed in a feature focus about guided tours, but we had actually already seen it in screenshots that were released along with the announcement trailer, so that was 15 weeks ago. Really guys, this is why you should subscribe to watch the weekly news update videos, because you would have known all of this already. I keep you up to date on everything. I've also seen some people get very excited about the baryonyx having a requirement for rock, which was interpreted to mean they want the 3D individually placeable rocks in their habitat. However, rock is also just a terrain paint, so I think it's much more likely that the requirement here is not a placeable item, it's just the terrain paint. Since we learned from the Dimorphodon species field guide that species like different terrain types, with the Dimorphodon liking sand, it just appears that the baryonyx likes to have a rock texture in its exhibit. This great shot overlooking a park in the tropical biome, with the park kind of being modeled after the Jurassic World, we can see just how massive we can make the aviaries and lagoons. And it looks like the monorail can go over the lagoon, which is going to provide a really cool perspective of our larger marine reptiles. From yesterday's livestream, we really got only 3 things, depending on whether or not you had already seen it during the YouTubers' coverage of the campaign from a few weeks ago, because Frontier played the exact same mission that they did. But what I hadn't seen before was an adorable Carnotaurus animation, as well as the information that this time around, when you tranquilize a dinosaur, it doesn't stay tranquilized indefinitely like it does in the current game. After a while, your dinosaurs do wake up again, so you have to make haste. Now back to that animation for a second. I call it a Carnotaurus animation because we see the Carnotaurus do it, but more animals will likely have a similar animation, or rather the exact same animation, as we've also seen that the big carnivores share their fighting animations. Hopefully though, there will still be plenty of variation. Finally, James Stant specifically mentioned the Sinoceratops when describing the ending of Fallen Kingdom, which sets up the universe for the game. Sinoceratops seems like an obvious pick to come into the game since it was in the movies, and the fact that he specifically mentioned it makes it all the more likely that it will be added to Jurassic World Evolution 2. Otherwise, a different dinosaur would have come to mind for him. However, I will say that it's confirmed with still an asterisk behind it. However likely it is, 100% confirmed isn't until we get to see it either mentioned within the context of the game or literally see it in the game itself. So let's put this at like 90% confirmed. But this is the list of revealed species we have currently, with the addition of the Sinoceratops. Thanks to Beluga on the Evolution Square Discord for finding the timestamp for me, because I had totally missed the reference to the Sinoceratops and I kinda dreaded having to rewatch the entire stream for it. If anybody wants to join the Discord and hang out, the link is in the description box. If you enjoy getting your Jurassic World Evolution 2 news in bite-sized chunks, subscribe to the channel and leave a like on this one. Thank you very, very much for watching, liking, subscribing, and until next time, enjoy the anticipation.